After the age of 65, falls are the leading cause of traumatic death. And that's not a fall from the stairs, that's just a fall from ground level. And that goes with the saying, you come into this world through the birth canal and you go out through the head of the femur. So what makes someone a fall risk? According to research, the inability to quickly react to a loss of balance is what makes someone a fall risk. For example, if you are here, can you do this? Now this doesn't mean that a person is going to just randomly fall for no reason. It means that if and when you lose your balance, which happens to everyone, you'll likely not be able to react fast enough and you'll fall. Now I understand you may not have fallen yet, but if you lose your balance, you're going down, and that's what makes you a fall risk. Simple as that. If you're here, can you do this? So who's at risk for falling? This tends to be the older population, because as we age, we lose a disproportionate amount of fast twitch muscle fibers. Just think, how many older people do you know who can do this? Therefore, they tend to be a greater risk of falling. This can be very easily assessed with a variety of time tests. One very decent test is the 5-time sit-to-stand test. You sit in a chair that is 16 inches off the ground. With your arms crossed and without pushing off, you sit and stand 5 times. If you're unable to do this task in under 15 seconds, you're at risk of recurrent falls. You should also be able to stand on each leg for at least 5 seconds without holding on. People who are unable to do this are twice as likely to experience an injurious fall in the subsequent 3 years. Now, many people who fail these tests still don't believe that they're a fall risk. They'll say that they haven't fallen or they've never been able to get up out of a chair without using their hands. The problem is, these tests don't measure the past, they measure your future. Although it can be difficult, it's better to come to terms with being a fall risk as opposed to coming to terms with a broken hip. But with the right kind of therapy, there's usually hope. So let me give you a quick game plan that you can use with your physical therapist. Just don't try this by yourself. The key with balance is to work on a stable surface. The foam pads that you see people standing on are actually going to decrease strength and open you up for knee injuries. This will lead to an even further risk of falls, and that's based on good research. So don't do this. This is misinformed therapy, and it's a massive misstep. When you train balance, you should be on a stable surface, and you should do so for 18 minutes a day. Training balance while walking is the best option because people fall while they're walking, not while they're standing still. And your therapist should have a hand on you with a gait belt so that if you lose your balance, they don't let you fall. Some examples of exercises include tandem gait with your eyes open or closed, circle turns, and perturbation training. The perturbations, or little pushes, should be enough to challenge balance, but not cause injury. Next, you need to address leg strength and power as appropriate. Leg strength and power are huge when it comes to balance, because if you lose your balance and you don't have a strong or powerful enough reaction, you won't regain your footing and you'll fall. And it makes sense that many of those time tests, like the 5-time sit-to-stand, are a measure of strength and power. A great exercise for this is a sit-to-stand or a squat. I suggest 4 sets of 12 squats 3 times a week. So to recap, you need to work dynamic balance 18 minutes a day on a stable surface with a trained spotter. You also need to increase leg strength and power. While there are other treatments for other balance issues, these are just the priorities for the majority of people. Do all this and you may attenuate your fall risk. But in the meantime, be careful, walk with someone, use a walker, be safe. And don't take my word for it. Look at the works cited listed in the description. It's not my opinion. It's just the body of science. Visit ptrehabdoc.com to find therapeutic workouts for the shoulder, neck, low back, hips, knees, and full body. And remember, if you're going to work out, do it in a way that helps you gain strength without sacrificing the health of your joints.